Sup, my precious students, welcome to the fifth part of What If Deku Was Arata Kasuga's Reincarnation. Yeah. So basically, the last time where we left off. Oh yeah, wait, I forgot the spoiler warning. This What If contains spoilers for the Trinity 7 manga. Okay, now let's get into the What If. So where we left off, it was before the training camp, like right before the training camp. So where we're gonna start is obviously where they make their way to the training camp, and they will just be driving there. Obviously, Deku sits next to the girls. Obviously, he's a he's a cool guy, you know. They're like talking and shit, and when they go out, the same things happen. They like this earth avalanche, I don't know what to call it, happens. Like they say, yeah, you have to get there by your own. But Deku obviously he notices this, and he just teleports. But he also just, I don't know, he just dodges it and basically then goes after the other students. So basically we just teleport around and like use a sword to like not kill but like to defeat those rock animals, like those rock summoning things, I don't know. So yeah, so he will basically like be the best one, obviously. So yeah, it's still gonna be the best. He's still gonna be one of the best four, obviously. So it's just gonna be like the same, but he will be the best of them all. Yeah. Yeah, and after that, Deku meets Kota, and obviously we know the scene when he tries punching Deku in the balls. He just teleports behind him and says, "Oh, hold up, young man! Don't try to punch me." And he just goes away, and he thinks like, bad guy. No, not bad guy, but I don't know. He doesn't like him at first. So yeah, we're gonna skip to the part where they're making food, and Deku just brings Kota food like in canon. Yeah, and I don't know, Kota, he kind of liked that Deku was like very kind to him at the start, so he didn't really hate him. But yeah, so basically, Deku tells Kota his story, and then Kota like tells his like water horse, his parents, they died and shit, and they both talk a lot, and so they're basically gonna be like friends. Deku then sees the blue flames in the forest and teleports away. But then he looks back to Kota to see if, I don't know, to just wave goodbye. But then he sees Muscular like approaching him, and he just basically directly teleports back and uses. Obviously, he already transformed into Magus mode. So he uses his mantra enchant to like enchant his fist to punch Muscular in the stomach. And then he just summons Judeka, like sword. Yeah, basically he makes it big. So yeah, he's just gonna, yeah, they will be fighting, but obviously because Deku now has a sword that's literally indestructible for Muscular, he's just gonna cut all of his muscles, which is like a hard counter for Muscular. So it's just gonna Deku's just gonna beat on him, and yeah, so basically we'll just cut away the muscles that Muscular created. So he will just be defeating him and like he knocking him out. He will not be killing him, but he will be knocking him out. Yeah, then he goes to Aizawa, like he teleports to Aizawa and gives him Kota back. Not back, but gives him Kota, like that he can fight. And Aizawa tells Deku that he should inform the others that they can fight against the villains now. And Deku finds a few people and tells them that they can fight now. But he just teleports around and doesn't find anyone. So basically, he didn't find anyone fighting, which I know seems kind of dumb, because like the Tsukuyomis. I don't know. I still don't know his name. Like his Dark Shadow, the Ravage. It's like pretty big, but I don't care. So I basically just didn't notice, and that's how Bakugo is gonna get captured. Yeah, and Deku, after this, he's like really sad, and because he couldn't save Bakugo, he doesn't hate him or anything. Just like after the thing where they teamed up against All Might, they got a bit not closer, but yeah, closer. They got more friends. So yeah, he's just gonna be like sad, and obviously because Momo is loves him and shit, he's gonna tell him that she put a tracker on one Nomu, like she didn't can, yeah. So it's all basically gonna be like in canon, just that Deku wasn't there, only against Muscular. Yeah. So they're gonna follow the tracker while the heroes are preparing for saving Bakugo and like raiding the villains and raiding the Nomus. Yeah. And so basically the students arrive, like they arrive like at where the Nomus are stored. They're just gonna look in and they say like, oh, that's that's a lot of Nomus and shit. And Deku obviously wants to kill them all, but Ida's like, Deku, even you can't defeat him. These are so many Nomus, and you don't even know how strong they are. And Deku's like, I can defeat him, trust me. But Ida still says that he shouldn't go there, and Deku just doesn't go there. So basically, the same thing with All Might will happen. He will try to rescue Bakugo. And yeah, but he won't, obviously. And then All for One's gonna appear like canon, and he's just gonna appear then at where Deku and Ida and I don't know Momo are. And this time Mina, I think her name is Mina, yeah. She also came, like Mina and Uraraka came with Deku and Momo and Ida. So basically they came with Deku, but it doesn't really matter. And Bakugo will just like he will be teleporting with All for One, obviously. Yeah, but Bakugo this time will like run away, but All for One will just let him go because he feels like a aura, like a killing intent. Yeah, so this is basically Deku just getting like he wants to fight All for One because he's pretty powerful. He's really powerful, and yeah, because he's so strong. And probably if he defeats him, he's gonna be like number one hero and shit. Yeah, so basically he just goes to All for One and says, "Ayo, you dickhead, you better forfeit or I'm gonna beat your ass." And he's just gonna laugh at Deku because he's like a kid and shit. And basically Deku is just gonna say the same thing as always: connect to the Superior Archive, execute Tema. Yeah, so basically we'll just go into his Trinity Magus mode, and suddenly Ilya appears. Who's Ilya? Okay, the Ilya, I don't know. It's the second book that Arata had. So Sora, the Astral manuscript, will be explaining that Ilya was the second book, the spell book that Arata had. Basically, like, yeah, okay, cool. Now I have a second one. So he's gonna get a boost from this, and because he knows that if you don't kill Alpha 1, there's gonna be a lot of people dying and shit. He will basically get a lot stronger. Because, like Sora says, that he can use his spells on his Judeka like a sword. And because his determination is so strong, like he wants to defeat him so bad, a mantra enchant gets stronger. Like a mantra enchant gets stronger the more determination you have. So that's basically how the spell works. So he's gonna be like really strong, and he's gonna be like almost at the same level of All for One. So he's just gonna fight him and like beat him, not beat him, but you know, they're gonna fight and he's gonna block and like weaken him. But when Deku thought he would win, he will just get knocked out by All for One, not killed but knocked out. And exactly at that time, All Might will be arriving and will be thanking Deku, even though he's knocked out. I don't know, All Might is stupid. So basically, he will, like All Might will arrive, just save him by, I don't know, he will just take Deku, put him somewhere safe and just go back. I don't know, it's like flex. I don't know. Yeah. Then All Might and All for One will be fighting, not like in canon because All for One is already weakened, but All Might still is gonna use full power and shit. And this time Deku is obviously knocked out, and Bakugo will be standing in front of the screen, and Deku is just gonna give not a speech, but like where he says, "It is your turn now," and Bakugo obviously knows that he is meant, not that All Might meant the other villains. So he's the one that's trying. So basically, Baku is just Deku, except he bullied him. Yeah, and yeah, he's gonna do like his punch, his United States of Smash. Yeah, we're gonna skip a lot of, no, not a lot of, but you know, Deku's just gonna going to the hospital, but nothing really happened to him, and like they have to make public that Deku had the allowance to like fight him for some reason, because Deku obviously he shouldn't have gone there and shit, and Bakugo also because he I don't know, Bakugo will just have it because he was there, I don't know. So they could get a bit like they get a house arrest like in the series. Yeah, so they were gonna be talking, bonding a bit more and getting more friends, and Deku is just gonna notice that Bakugo has All for One's work. Like, I don't know, he just notices it because Deku's not so stupid, and Bakugo says yeah, that it's true, but they're not gonna fight because Deku doesn't want like to fight, and Bakugo is more of a cool guy now, especially because Deku helped him like with fighting All Might. Yeah. So then we're gonna skip to the part where they make their special techniques, and Deku obviously has a lot of special techniques, so he just watches them create their special techniques, and I don't know, he will just be watching them go there and shit. I don't know. Yeah, so then we're gonna do another skip to the exam for the professional license. Yeah, the license where they can like beat villains up, but also not. Yeah, or only when they're like under a hero's watch or something like that. Yeah, like the professional license. Yeah, the first part starts where they have to like throw balls at the people, like the most boring arc. Okay, just who liked that arc? Like, yeah, so basically he will just be teleporting around. He has like in both his hands he has like the balls and just be touching all of the spots. Basically he will just beat everyone up and just blocking all the shit for his class. Yeah, so basically he will just be defeating everyone like easily, because like his teleporting power is pretty cheaty, I might say. In like every exam he had, he always not cheated, but kind of cheated with his teleporting technique. Like kind of cheating. But yeah, he just likes to do that. He's like a funny guy. So the second part of the exam gonna start, and where they have to like save people, and the Orca, I don't know his name. Yeah, he's gonna play like the villain shit, and like villains that coming, not real villains, but you know, they're gonna be playing villains. And Deku just obviously he will be teleporting around saving people. He's gonna punch a few, not really slap their ass, but like he will just be defeating a few villains. But you know what I mean. And yeah, so they will basically pass like in canon. It's like Deku beating all of them because he can. And yeah, so we're gonna skip the part where Muriel comes into the class, and yeah, and also I might say this in like the time where Deku, like where he didn't say anything, where like skipped over it. Deku was obviously hanging out with the girls. He was like getting closer to them, and maybe there's something gonna happen in the next part. I might say, you know. So we're gonna skip to the fight against Mirio, and Deku just directly figures out what his quirk is, and he knows how to beat him. And so basically, when Mirio tries to hit him, you know, where he's like wants to hit him, and where he knows he's gonna be like vulnerable, he like Mirio tries punching him, he's gonna teleport right next to his hand and just gonna slam dunk him, and he's just gonna beat him. Yes. So basically Mirio just is like really impressed of Deku. Obviously thought he would beat everyone's ass, but he didn't. He lost. Yeah, and this is where I'm gonna end this part. Yep, because this is like the end of season 3. Season 3 was the most boring season, except for like the All for One fight. So yeah, I'm really excited for season 4, like the next part, and for part 6, and maybe 7. I don't know how long it will take. So yeah, like subscribe and like, because yes, the video good, and only if the video was good. And I will see you in the next part. See ya. I feel this pain, you already know.